Do you like a psychological hit? Well, these films will leave you speechless with a shocked feeling you can't shake, staying with you long after the credits roll. These are disturbing and shocking dramas that are well worth the time investment. Each one crosses a dangerous line in a different way, challenging the viewer. Are you up for it? And I've saved the most intense to last. Jason Bateman, Andrea Riseborough, and Alexander Skarsgård star in Disconnect, a captivating drama thriller that I had never heard of before. This film centers around a group of strangers and how they connect or really disconnect in a modern tech-obsessed society, interacting and presenting different versions of themselves in their daily lives compared to online. The film starts as a pretty simple yet enticing drama, but as real colors show, relationships become dark, twisted, and cruel, showing the sides of humanity that remain hidden in plain sight. It's a movie that aims for an emotional gut punch. The stories feature everything from a news reporter's interest in a sex cam worker to a boy at school being catfished. Honestly, the build for this film is masterful. You watch people toe a line and then all of a sudden you're across the other side, not even knowing how you got there. The pacing is a thing of beauty and brutality, and the finale will not be forgotten. I mean, any film that has music by Max Richter and Sigur Rós, you know it's gonna leave a scar. I swore I would never watch this film again, but I had to make sure for this video, and it hits just as hard the second time. The movie is a dramatization of the 1989 Montreal massacre, where several engineering students were murdered by an incel. The movie switches perspective between the shooter, a student named Valerie, who was at the crime scene, and her friend, a man named Gene, who did whatever he could to help. The movie shows polar sides of bravery and senseless carnage, but it's also known to be one of the best presented and well thought out as well as respectful films of its kind, never giving the name of the perpetrator, and it's shot in black and white to avoid the presence of blood. The movie was also screened to the family members of the victims before being released. The movie touches on the events on how they played out, but also the trauma felt after the events that lives on forever. Guaranteed, This Is England is a film you'll never forget. This film is a horrific and emotional journey into a niche society that you can't unsee. The British drama centers around a young gang of skinheads in 80s England. The film is seen through the perspective of a 12-year-old named Sean, who is having a hard time at school, but one day he meets Woody, who invites him to join his gang. The story details the struggles of the working class and ignorance of the youth, falling into gangs for many reasons, but most to find meaning and unity, unaware of the indoctrination, consequences, and violent beliefs that they have adopted before it's too late. It's a raw take of just a fragment of the dangerous subculture through innocent eyes, and an insight that you won't forget. This film is a powerful independent drama that's not afraid to bear all. I'm well aware that Nicolas Cage sparks joy or fear for a moviegoer, but this next film is unlike any other Nicolas Cage film you've seen before. It definitely crosses the line. 8mm follows a private detective who was approached for a bizarre job. A widow has found the unspeakable left in her late husband's safe, an 8mm reel containing a horrific act. Now Cage needs to follow the clues to find out if the tape is real or not. The film has a great cast, including Joaquin Phoenix, James Gandolfini, and Catherine Keener. It's a thrilling crime mystery of the sickest kind, leading our protagonist into the jaws of a dangerous underbelly in society. And what we learn, we may just not be able to forget, because once you see what humans are capable of, there's no going back. Do nothing, stay and fight, or leave. These are the choices for the women we follow in Women Talking. In this film, we watch as the women of all generations of their cult community gather to discuss the mistreatment and abuse at the hands of the men in their commune. The movie is based on the book of the same name, and the screenplay for this film won an Oscar for being the best adapted screenplay of 2023. The cast is also impressive, with Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Jessie Buckley, Frances McDormand, and the list goes on and on. The story is a grueling journey which relies on the insinuation instead of being blatant and open, which both explains the dynamics of the community and also allows the audience to suffer in their ambiguity, imagining the different details and situations that could be possible for their cry for change. The worst part is when you find out the film is based on a true story of serial attacks in a Mennonite community. The details of the film and true story are too shocking to discuss on YouTube, but it's both powerfully important important and equally one of the hardest films I've ever had to watch in the cinema. Nothing short of shocking. But I've saved the most shocking film to last. Come and see. I mean, just the title will send shivers down your spine if you've already witnessed this one. Without a doubt, this is the most disturbing film on this list. The movie was banned upon its release in many countries due to its graphic content. This is an epic war drama, although a lot of you in my comment section refer to it as a straight up horror, and I can see why. The movie follows a young boy who, after finding an old rifle, joins the Soviet resistant movement against the German forces and experiences firsthand the horrors of World War II. It has a distinct flow with the terror coming in waves, knocking you down over and over again. The subject matter is paired with brilliant cinematography work and an immersive sound design. It's a visceral peek into the true horrors of history, presented in a flawless manner. And it's one that belongs on this list because I promise you'll never forget it. Looking for more disturbing content? Well, I've got you covered. Check out these videos if you're looking for recommendations you'll never forget. But you've got to promise you won't get mad at me. These may cause nightmares. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay spooky.